Hi, Taurus. I hope you're doing well. This is a reading for July 2024. I apologize for being late. I've had some stuff go on, family emergencies and traveling, a lot of traveling. So, yeah, I appreciate your patience for those of you who are here. So, yeah, this message is for July 2024, for the month of July. And let's get into it, okay? So, as far as like universal message is up top, all right? And it's just the supporting energy of the universe here. And then these energies are a little bit more specific. We'll get into them in a second. But the biggest energy here that is present is the Two of Cups. Now, before we get really excited about all of this Two of Cups energy, I need to read it a couple of ways for you, Taurus, just because it doesn't always just mean happy, connections and this and that. Like, this can talk about the unions that we are in already existing. This doesn't have to just be romantic. These are the close connections. So this can be even roommates, people in our lives that are dear, dear friends. It's the people that we have intermixed and intertwined harmony with. It's the union type of connections that we have, whether they are romantic or not, okay? So that is that. You have nourished the shadow. This does talk about shadow work. It talks about going within and sometimes looking at the things that we don't want to look at just because they're very uncomfortable, and they're hard to deal with. Sometimes we also need to pay attention to these things because they're having different ways that they play out in our lives, especially when it comes to our emotional satisfaction in relationships, our contentment, the types of relationships that we hold on to, the types that we allow ourselves to be in. It's like we could be better, we could do more, we could have better relationships, but that would require a lot of me, or that would require me to engage in things in a completely different way. So I'm just going to keep myself small. It's that kind of energy here, okay? And you do have contentment. Someone is happy in their current situation. So we're going to check out how this intermixes with these cards, but that's what I have for you there. So supportive energy for you, the energy to embody throughout this time frame. Taurus, you have the Ace of Pentacles. This is seizing opportunities for where they appear. This is about solid offers, situations that you can build upon slowly, intentionally, and with great results. This is about action, but like action towards things that create stability and foundation. This is new jobs, new relationship goals. This can be paying money towards a new home or new property. This could be a raise even in your work situation, but we'll get into work in a minute. So this is kind of the energy that we want to be focusing on giving into this month here, and receiving, but definitely giving. We want to be able to see opportunities where they are, and we want to take, I don't want to say advantage, but take control of them, utilize it for your good, make the most of it, and that will be best for you. In your community, you have, this is like community and communication here. You have the Three of Cups. So this is enjoying yourself with people, the people that are closest to you. Enjoy yourself with them. Some of you, this could be going out on a date, with this Two of Cups here, to seek out contentment. But sometimes we also have to pay attention to where, we have our little hangups and issues within ourselves, and how does that play out in future connections? How does our darkness that we're leaving unaddressed, how does that eventually play out in your connections? It's important to be mindful of that and really give energy towards figuring out what that is, so it's not going to entangle or ensnare you or come out like a jack in the box at some point where it's like, oh, this is unresolved. This is an issue that's unresolved, but it's a continual pattern in my relationship. So, oops, and then it causes disarray in your connections. So be mindful about looking at those things, okay, Taurus? Did I call you Cancer? I meant Taurus. But yeah, This is good times with people that we love, that we care about. This could even be connecting to a new person through your group of friends, through your family, through the people that you're closest with. Okay. For your health, you have the Hermit in reverse. The Hermit in reverse is a situation where things are getting. I'm so sorry, Taurus. I had to take a pause there for a second. I think I was at the Hermit in reverse. Yeah, so the Hermit in reverse here, in regard to your health energy, it can talk a lot about situations where maybe we are either creating self limitations, perceptions of self limitations, paranoia. It can be restrictive thinking or restrictive actions. Sometimes, like, I'm going to say this is a strange analogy, but like sometimes when people have like OCD or like they have to count or, did I check the stove 20,000 times? Did I do this? Did I do this? It's kind of like that. Like, I can't move forward if I don't do this, but now I have to double check if I did this because I don't know if I did this. It's in a lot of ways, it takes somebody's life. And not to say that that's not a reality for a lot of people. It was part of my reality at one point. But what I do know is that it takes a lot out of people. It's an exhaustive energy to deal with. And it's asking for you, if you have any type of situations like that in your life or situations where you fixate and you can't move forward from it, it's asking you to nourish that darkness, nourish the shadow. Where are those things coming from? Where are those attachments here? What happens if you don't step on that crack? Will your mother's back in fact break? Like how does it apply? How does the paranoia, the frustration, the worry, the excessive worry apply to you? And is it valid, right? Is it just something that we've kind of like brought in our heads to be, or is this valid? So just some deep consideration on how you have those fixations, and it doesn't have to be exactly that, but if you kind of pick up my drift of what I'm talking about here, it does indicate like, okay, let me look at why I do this. Let me look at what security it brings me. Let me look at like what it causes me to miss out on, right? Especially in relationships, especially in connections and with people. I had somebody who wouldn't take their shoes off in my house, or like they wouldn't drink water because they're terrified that the water is tainted, which I'm sure it is, but like it had been filtered twice, all of that, and they wouldn't do that, but it was safe for them to drink orange juice. And so stuff like that, like, who knows? It could come out in a million different ways, but how do those things get in the way of your connections? How do those things get in the way of you having healthy situations with people, and even just within your own connection to yourself? We want to find contentment here. We want to be able to find some sort of emotional security here that's safe to rely on. When it comes to your job and your financial area here, you have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Taurus. Now, not the best card for this type of placement, okay? The Ten of Pentacles in reverse can talk about losing a job. It can talk about a loss of money, especially for those of you, if you do stocks and bonds and trades and stuff like that. It can talk about situations where it's like you may have been doing really well and then something falls away. You lose some sort of thing, or you lose out on some money. There's some possibility there. Some of you, this may also mean that you may not be able to rely on family members if they've been helping you, or a partnership that's been helping you maintain or stay afloat. Some of you, this is kind of that moving on, and right next to it you have, well, I'll get into that in a second, but I think here with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse for finances, you're going to need to figure out different ways to cover things. You might need to be very, very frugal in how you go about your spending habits, cutting down on situations. Like, say you have multiple subscriptions to apps, but you don't use them. Stop it, disconnect them, cut off your service with that. Do you have a membership to the gym that you just never go to? Cut off connection to it. There's a reason why, and you're just going to decrease the stress in your life once you just let it go. If you're not going, just stop paying the $45 a month. Try to simplify your financial situation as best as possible and try to weed out all of those things that are causing financial hemorrhage, okay? Especially too, like if you are in a safe partnership or if you are in a secure partnership, this may also be where it's like you might have to pull back a little bit on how you give to your partner, or maybe how much you are allowing yourself to be used as well. Okay, so when we come into your relationships, partnerships, you have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is kind of a sticky card to be in this position, considering you have the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, the Contentment card. Like there's a lot of support for emotional satisfaction here. There's a lot of support for connections here. But with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, this is an indication of us not putting our effort towards a thing, dropping it like a hot potato, not being interested in something, letting it go. For some of you, this could strictly be like financial situations where maybe you've overgiven to a situation, so now it's time to pull back. Maybe we need to figure out, why do I overgive to things? Why do I allow myself to be used? Is it fear that they're going to leave me if I don't? It's like showing up in so many different ways and allowing yourself to be kind of like manipulated and used. And here we're stopping that. We're just completely just stopping that here. The Seven of Pentacles in reverse as well for like new relationships. It's no longer giving to them either, because we've really looked at situations and perhaps realized I'm with somebody that I don't really find that it's healthy for me. I'm not content. This is not the type of bond that I wanted. This leaves me with anxiety. It might be better to go date. I'm in a situation because I feel like I have to prove to myself that I can be in a relationship, or that I can maintain something even though it's working against me. Here the Seven of Pentacles says, no. Stop giving to something if it's destructive. Stop giving to something if it wastes your time or does not reciprocate and return yield, okay? You have two cards here. And whether or not it's financial energy with these two pentacle cards, this is just also a matter of health. The Pentacles talks about your health, okay? So where are you hemorrhaging? How much you're giving, overextending? Is it really truly bringing you contentment? For some of you, it's not. And for some of you, you're fine. But I feel like there's an acknowledgement to how to reclaim your power in a situation by communicating your needs, and also by stating boundaries and barriers in regard to what will either cause you to feel better in something, cause you to have a state of healing in something, or cause a relationship to be more unified. And because this is all about unification here, unified and content here. So this is kind of going through the situation and realizing, okay, I don't need this. I don't want to continue to do this. These are not the types of behaviors that I want to exhibit with my partner. I'm shutting that aspect of it down. It doesn't mean you have to get rid of a partner, but there's aspects within a relationship here, Taurus, that need to be weeded out and to figure out, so that you are not just overgiving and you're not receiving in return. So that's what I have for you guys. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, donate if you wish. That really does help my channel grow. I appreciate it. And personal readings, get at me at the information in the description box. Okay, I love you. Take care. Bye, Taurus.